and I'll share my screen. Okay, so I hope you've got your SAP log and I'll share my screen. Okay, so I hope you've got your SAP logon. If you not, you just need to set up your screen, and I have shared your ECC. This is the ECC version. I have shared you the GUI. Via the GUI, you just need to set up your access. And if you have opted for Brim server, it is remote desktop. Via remote desktop, you need to open it. Okay, so I will not go into the system directly. We need to understand what is FICA, what is FICO, etc., etc. Then we'll get into the system. So we'll start with FICA and FICO, because few of you are not even from FICO background, and if I recall correctly, we have one person, Pravalika, you don't have a single year of experience at all. So I have to,
Yes.
yeah. So I will adjust the recording, I mean the training accordingly, so that you can also understand. May I know after 1 year what is the least experience? Is there anyone who has less than 4 years of experience apart from Pravalika here? Anyone less than 4 years of experience? SAP experience I'm talking, not FICA. Okay, so I think after one, the next gap is 4 years. So in that case, I will start with the ERP solution. What is ERP? Because I cannot directly go to FICA, FICO and all, because I have a fresher here. So I must explain what is ERP. So here, let me open. So SAP is a ERP solution. What is ERP solution? ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. Okay, so ERP is Enterprise Resource Planning. Okay, so what is that enterprise resource planning? Enterprise resource planning means before you take any action, you do some planning. Before you go for a trip, you make some planning. You find out, I mean, you sit back and decide, okay, first day I'll go here, second day I'll go there. Similarly, we need to do some planning. So enterprise resource planning is something which integrates different activities together. That means each activity can be performed in different system, but if there is no integration, then I have to do, it will be very difficult. So let me give you an example how a ERP works. Okay, so let's take an example of, say, um, say in a company there are different divisions. Okay, so this is, say this is the procurement department. Why is it? Okay. Okay, so this is a procurement department. Procurement department, what it does, for every goods that it manufactures, it need to, the company, the organization needs to buy the raw materials. This department takes care of the raw material purchase. Okay, from the raw materials, the finished goods are manufactured. So we start from here, the procurement department. Next, suppose there is another department. Say this is the finance department. You know what does? Why is it so small by default every time? Finance department, you know what does the finance department do for every expense or income, every expense, the finance department approves whether we need to do this expense, we can incur this expense. So everything finance department provides its approval. After that, the activity happens. Okay, similarly, suppose there is a costing department. Costing department, what does costing department do? Costing department whenever a good is manufactured, they find out what is the cost of the goods, because if the cost is not found out, then the profit cannot be added and the sales price cannot be arrived at. So to quote a sales price, I must identify what is my cost. On top of that, maybe 10% or 15% profit can be added. So this is the costing department. Similarly, suppose this is the manufacturing department where the main everything is getting manufactured. Okay, so this is the manufacturing department. Next, say here we have a HR department. You all know what does the HR department do. Recruitment, everything is carried out by the HR department. And finally, let's say, okay, let's say there is a quality control department. Quality control department, what does the quality control do? Say I mention it as QC. So whoever are from testing background, you know what is the quality control, what does the quality control department do. So whenever a product is manufactured, they cannot directly serve it to the customer. Before that, they will do some quality. You all know that whenever a car is launched, first a lot of quality test, how shockproof is it, those are tested, then it is approved by a proper authority, then that can be launched into the market. So the quality department is there. And suppose there is a department called suppose this is the sales department, from where finally the goods are sold. That means they identify how much, what quantity of goods are sold in this quarter, in this month, all those information. So in a normal organization, there will be more than these seven departments, but I'm just giving you a high level glimpse. So these many departments are available into an organization. Now, suppose a person goes to the sales department and asks him and places an order. So placing an order means, suppose a customer inquires the sales department and places an order. For example, say this is a a QSR restaurant. Okay, it's a restaurant, say Domino's or Pizza Hut. So a customer goes to the sales counter and says that I want to place an order for an upcoming event which is happening at my place. So so I need maybe 200 large, 150 mid, and maybe 100 small pizza. Just giving an example. This is the order he's going to place. Before he places, he goes to the sales department and he asks him how long will it take to prepare the order. Okay, so he goes and he places, okay, this is the order, so this is something which cannot be done right away. So he mentioned the date, this is the date on which I would need these many orders and all. So can you give me, is it, and what will be the cost? So what will happen? Sales department will tell, okay, just wait a minute, let me discuss with the all the departments. So first, the sales department will straight away call the procurement department, saying that, hey, I have an order that uh, these many finished goods I need. So for that, do you have the enough? I mean, do you have enough raw materials? That means for this, they would need flour or other vegetables and whatever ingredients are needed. Okay, corn, chicken, blah blah blah. So do you have the ingredients? Can you deliver it by that particular date? Procurement says, no, I don't have the ingredients, I have to place order. For order, I need to get a confirmation from the finance department, because the finance department can confirm whether they have enough fund. So then procurement department asks the finance department says, okay, we can place the order, but before I place the order, I need to understand what will be, whether the manufacturing department is ready. That means the manufacturing department is someone which will take the raw materials as input and provide the finished goods as the output. So finance department will check with the manufacturing department that, hey, I'm going to feed you with these many inputs, can you prepare the output within the given time? Then the manufacturing department says, okay, it is not only about me, once I create, I need to get it tested from the maybe quality QC, because he need to perform some quality testing for that, or I mean, he's not going to eat the pizza, but he's going to confirm that things are fine. And after that, uh, it will go to the costing department, because the costing department will tell what is the cost of all these finished goods. Accordingly, this order, sales department can confirm, okay, this is possible. So you see, a lot of back and forth has happened. So sales goes to procurement, procurement goes to finance, finance goes to manufacturing, manufacturing goes to QC, QC goes to costing. Then again, everybody will confirm to sales department. So how many, what input sales department need? Sales department needs that, can the order be delivered? Can be delivered. Next, which did I? Okay. Then say the date is 5 days from now. Is it possible? 5 days from today, is it possible to be to deliver? Then what should be the price? What price should be quoted? So all this information, sales department cannot tell right away to the customer over a phone call. So sales department will say, okay, give me some time. I'll discuss internally with all my departments and I'll give you a confirmation. I'll call you back in maybe 1 hour. So after taking all the information, the sales department calls back the customer. Then the customer says, no, I couldn't wait this long. I have placed the order with maybe KFC or maybe Pizza Hut, because Domino is taking so much time. Why so much time has has been taken? Because these many integration are missing. So each company has their own Excel sheet, or sorry, each department has their own database from where they are finding, okay, if this is possible, then this can be delivered by these many days. What is the cost? Can I approve? Do I have enough fund to place the order for the raw material? Do I have enough working capital? So all this back and forth has happened because these systems are not integrated. Now, if we have a ERP solution, the ERP solution will ensure that the ERP solution will ensure that all these systems are integrated. Okay, so ERP solution will ensure that all the systems are integrated, so that the sales department doesn't have to go to all this department. Every department, all whatever information is needed, that is maintained centrally, so that procurement department, finance department, costing department can see them by entering the query. In the input, I need this many large, medium, small pizza by this date. What will be the price? With a click of an enter, the output will be given, and the sales representative can right away inform, okay, this is possible by this number of days. Okay, so this is the ERP solution where the systems are integrated. Okay, so all systems are integrated because they talk to each other whenever anything happens right away. Say a new I mean, say from the raw materials, some raw materials is consumed, that means it goes from raw material to the manufacturing department, so the raw material value is decreased or stock level is decreased. That information not only procurement department can see, even finance, costing, sales is not yet involved, but sales can still see, okay, the raw material stock has decreased. Okay, so whenever it reduces below a certain limit, finance department directly gets to know and finance will approve right away. Procurement doesn't have to go to finance, okay, you see, it has been decreased, because finance knows directly that the stock level has decreased. So this type of integration takes place whenever you have a ERP solution in place. Okay, so in market there are different ERP solutions available. SAP is one of them. So 40% of the ERP solutions are, I mean, 40% of the customers go for SAP ERP solution, because in SAP this integration is very good. There are some other ERP companies which has their ERP solution, but those are not as good as SAP. For example, we have Oracle. We have Oracle. This is very good, but this is good for finance module. That is, the banking systems, they use the Oracle. So Oracle is very good with the finance module. So in bank, you need to know how much money do I have, because a customer, if some customer wants to liquidate its fixed deposit, break the fixed deposit, do I have enough fund so that I can pay the customer right away? That that kind of information Oracle is very good with. But again, the pitfall is Oracle is good for finance only. Similarly, there are different, like there is something called JD Edwards, then they have Ban, they have PeopleSoft. PeopleSoft is good for HR. Okay, so like that, there are different um, ERP solutions available in the market, but every Ban is good for manufacturing. But if you talk about SAP, SAP has all the modules and it helps integrate all the modules, so that the integration that I have just explained, this integration happens right away, so that they don't have to contact the other module and get a confirmation putting the customer on hold. That is not required. The real time information can be seen. Like when you place an order into Flipkart or eBay or Amazon, it tells you that estimated date of delivery. How is it possible? Due to ERP solution, their procurement server, their procurement module, and their logistic module, all the modules are integrated in such a way, the moment you place the order, it knows that from which shop it is going to procure, and what is the distance from that shop to from the place where the order is made, and accordingly it predicts, and most of the time it delivers before time only. So this type of integration happens thanks to ERP solution, and SAP is one of the ERP solution. And within SAP, we have different modules. So whatever different department you see, all of them has their own modules into SAP. For example, this procurement module is known as material management. This finance module is known as FI. This costing or controlling module is known as CO. Manufacturing module is known as PP. HR module, it remains HR only. QC, it is quality management, if I remember correctly. Sales module is known as sales and distribution SD. Like that, there are other also different modules available into SAP. So these are the most of the core functional modules. There are some technical modules which helps, I mean, which is required for all the modules to perform properly. So these many major functional modules are available, and our focus area lies here, somewhere between here. Most of the part in FI, very less part in controlling. Okay, so this is our FICA. Our FICA lies here because FICA, financial accounting, contract account, receivable, payable. The full form is financial accounting. The FI stands for financial accounting because FINANCIAL, that FI, financial accounting. Then CA stands for contract account, receivable, payable. So this is where the FICA lies. Now to understand FICA, since FICA is a subledger or sub-module of FICO, we need to understand little bit of FI and CO. In absence of these two, we cannot understand, we cannot learn FICA, or we cannot set up the FICA config without creating the FI and CO config, because it's like a parent-child relationship. First, I have to create FI, CO, then I can deep dive into FICA. Okay. Then especially for Pravalika, we have, whenever we configure a system, first we configure into an environment which is called development, and then from the development we send the configuration, we move the configuration into another environment called quality, and from in quality we perform a lot of testing. The users will perform testing. User means the client will perform testing, which is called UAT, and after that, once they sign it off, they agrees and they test everything, and the output is desired, then they tell, okay, we can move all the changes into production is a live environment. Okay, like before, say Disneyland. So in Disneyland, whenever they create a new ride, they open a new ride, say a roller coaster, it will not go live directly right away. So first, the roller coaster is manufactured for a long days. Then a lot of test runs are done so that um, they have to make sure that the ride is safe for kids and for adults, everybody, so that there should not be any mishaps. So they will do a lot of testing in different scenario, in monsoon, in hot and humid time, different time they'll do perform testing, and when they feel that it is safe, then they make the park, or then they make the ride open for everybody. So once the the ride is open for everybody, it hits production, because all the activity is performed into production. Okay, so like if you're in India, you see, I mean, especially in Kolkata, I'm from Kolkata, we have metro rail. So every 2 years, metro rails are getting expanded. So currently, say I have say 15 stations. Within the next three years, there will be six more stations added. So not only whenever the stations are added, they do not directly run the metro. They run some trial runs for at least a couple of weeks. Okay, to ensure that okay, the tracks are properly laid down, and so that the trains can run safely. So once that is done, then our prime minister will come, chief minister will come, then they inaugurate, then it becomes production. So we have different environments. I cannot give you the flavor of all the environments right now. So assume that because everything I have to do within one environment, because for testing it's a sandbox. The the changes will not move from one environment to another environment in our case. But when you work in a project, that the configuration will be performed into a development environment. From that, it will be moved to quality environment. There the testing will be performed, and finally it will move to production. Production is where the everyday business activity will happen. That is, after go live, the business activity will happen. Okay, so that was all about the environment. And also, when we move changes from one environment to another environment, we use something called TR, or transport request. Within a transport request, all the changes are added, and after that the transport is released from one environment and it is imported into another environment. So once the TR is moved from one environment to another environment, the changes are moved. The change can be a code change or a config change. Okay, so whatever we'll learn here will be mostly config change, because it is a functional training. But as a functional, I will tell you what logic you have to give for whatever different custom objects, what logic you have to give, that also I'll mention. Okay, so we have less than 1 minute. So once I mean, we'll get disconnected. Once it get disconnected, you can try logging in maybe 30 or 40 seconds. During that time, this conversion will happen. The recording will get converted, and I'll add you. Don't panic. It may take 1 minute or maybe less than 1 minute. Okay, so this one will take less than 1 minute, because uh, the I recorded not the entire session. Maybe the last 20 minutes I recorded. From the next session onwards, the entire 40 minutes will be recorded, so it will take longer time. And every day after the call, I'll share the recording. Maybe first day it will take some time, I need to create a folder and all. From the second day onwards, you'll get the recording within 30 minutes.